Hello, guys.
Hello guys, welcome to Pitching in Line.
So today we are going to talk about India versus England, the second Test match at Chepauk. Important match. No series. England is leading the series now, 1-0 up. So India will be really desperate to make a comeback and make the series 1-all. And so, What are the things which you are looking forward to, bro? As in this match, we'll talk about the team by team first. Let's talk about the match and how it's going to be important for India to make things in order and come back in this match.
Yeah, yeah, this is going to be a very crucial match for India for two reasons. See, India had a very dominant run in at home from 2011 to 2021. We have just lost four Test matches, including this one, and we only lost a series once. That was against England way back in 2012. And after that inspiring win in Australia, and this defeat has suddenly again brought everything down, and India would really like to again tell tell the tell the visitors that who is the king at home, because they were completely destroyed in the first test. I mean, see, let's be very honest. I think England has completely outplayed India in the first test, so I think they would really want to make a statement. That is number two, and number one is going to be World Test Championship. For India to qualify to the finals of World Test Championship and to play New Zealand in Lords, for them they have to win their remaining matches, or they have to win at least two matches. They can't allow England to win one more match. If England wins one more Test match, that means India are out of the World Test Championship final. It's as simple as that. The only way India can play in the final is to win all the matches, or to not to lose at least even a single match. So what? So let's talk about first Indian team, and after that gut wrenching defeat, what are the things do you think that Indian team will be concentrating on?
I think they will like to improve their bowling a little bit because you know the first match they are strike bowlers. Ashwin, of course, he came back in the second innings, but Bumrah was looking little off. Yeah, you can understand that the kind of workload he's carrying, and little bit he was having an injury, so he didn't play Gaba test also. So I think he is kind of a rusty thing, and there are news that Akshar Patel has hit the nets, is batting and bowling. So we can expect Akshar Patel to feature in the 11 for Shabaz Nadeem. The biggest
Mhm.
question will be whether Kuldeep Yadav gets a nod ahead or not. So what do you feel about Kuldeep Yadav?
Yeah, I think, see, personally, it's always best to play your best players on the field. Okay, and Kuldeep Yadav hasn't been playing it in any format for India, be it the ODIs or be it the T20s. So there should be a question whether it's because of his form, or his class is the problem. I really don't know whether the team management has any other ideas. But I certainly feel like pitch like Chipok, especially how it was in the first test when nothing was given. There was no movement of the pitch. There was no excuse me. There was no spin. So I think in those conditions, with spinner will be very useful. And but again, they'll see into what kind of combination they want. Ashwin is a shoe shot spinner who's going to play. He'll be an off spinner.
Yeah.
That is means the ball will come into the batsman. Then your second spinner, if you go with Kuldeep Yadav, though he's a very spinner, he's also the one who turns the ball into the right hander. And after seeing Washington Sundar, the way he has played, again, if you play Washington Sundar, then again you'll have three very monotonous attack where the spinner spins into the right hander. So in that aspect, you can take Akshar Patel. If you feel like he's very fit, he can also give you runs with the bat. So the biggest question will be who will you drop? Nawaz, yes, he's certainly is going to be replaced. But among the two spinners of Kuldeep Yadav and Washington Sundar, whom are you going to drop? That will be the biggest question mark. Because one is a good all-rounder, he's showing his skills with the bat, whereas Kuldeep Yadav is a much more proficient bowler. And one more thing, what I would really like to stress is Whether do you think India would change the plan and go with three pace attack instead of two? Do you see that happening?
I think it's
Because we have seen England actually using that reverse swing very well. Even Ishant Sharma actually got some reverse swing as well.
yeah, yeah, you are right, but I don't think in conditions like Chepauk, I think that kind of strategy will be taken again by Indian management. But I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, that's not a bad idea to reckon with, but it's little tough as of now.
Okay. So do you see any changes happening in the batting lineup?
I don't think batting. I think will be same. You know, until up to Rishabh Pant, everything
Excuse me.
will be same.
Hmm.
There are a lot of the sources that Akshar Patel is certainly going to play, and I think that
Okay.
will be over Nadeem. And one more important
Hmm.
call which India, which has to take whether to rest Bumrah for the third test in the pink ball test
Hmm.
match and play Siraj, or if they feel that give a go with Bumrah and make him play more so that he stays in rhythm. I think that will be a little dilemma which Indian management has to go through.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's a good point that you have actually brought it up. Is that I personally feel Bumrah should be rested. He didn't really look his best. Though you can't say that he didn't try. He gave all his efforts. He gave his 100%, but you can see that he's not at 100% fit. He's struggling a little bit. So it's better you give him rest because with T20 World Cup coming and with IPL coming, he's going to have a lot of workload. S- And the sad thing for Indian cricket team right now is there has been quite a lot of injuries. Mohammad Shami, you could have easily played Mohammad Shami. He's not available. You could have easily played Umesh Yadav. Both of them are very senior players. So both of them are not there. And you don't want to have a too much inexperienced attack. That's what has costed India in the first test. You could clearly see Shahbaz Nadeem and Washington Sundar's inexperience literally showing up because the other three experienced bowlers were really doing well, and the inexperienced bowlers couldn't do well. So you really don't want to again go with, for example, if you're going with Siraj, though he has done extremely well. Uh, I feel that he will do well, but you don't want to keep too much of inexperience in the team. I think that's where you could probably bring in Kuldeep Yadav to give that little bit experience in the side. But it's a very tough choice for India to make. If you're taking in Akshar Patel, you got to drop either Washington Sundar or Kuldeep Yadav. And Kuldeep Yadav, like we spoke, wrist spinner can actually do something in unconductive pitches. And Washington Sundar, it will be a little bit harsh on him if he gets dropped. He has been batting very well, but his primary job is as a spinner, which I don't think so. He has impressed everyone in that first test. So coming to England team, let's talk about England team. England had a thumping win, and there were few sources which were saying Anderson would be rested for the second test to make him play in the pink ball test. And there were also few news about Archer. Can you give us some information about that?
Yeah, a little while back there was a news that Archer is suffering from an injury. He had some injections, so which caused some infection, which unfortunately for England
Hmm.
will have to do away with Archer. So it will make an interesting situation because they are playing in with either Anderson or Broad in Asian conditions. When they are playing in Asia, they are playing with one of them. They're not playing them
Hmm.
together. So ideally, their plan would to be to play Anderson in the first match and rest him in the second and play Broad. But since this situation has arisen here, where Archer is, I'll be missing the action, so I think we can even
Hmm.
see both Anderson and Broad playing together. There are chances, but I'm not sure.
Well, I think that will be a very big blow for England because Archer was exceptional in the first test. I mean, his opening spell, he was bowling at 147, 148 average speed. And yes, through the day, because of heat or something, like you said, maybe there was some niggle or something where he couldn't really bowl again at that speed. Again, in the test match, he wasn't bowling at that speed. And Anderson was a masterclass. He showed masterclass of reverse swing. And Stuart Broad, he has done very well in Sri Lanka as well. He took a lot of wickets. Yeah, both these experienced bowlers, right? They're using off cutters and leg cutters
Yeah,
very well. They're
yeah,
using cutters on this pitch.
correct.
I think which is something probably Indian bowlers have to pick it up and use it in their game. But if actually, see, as from England point of view, the pressure is all on India.
Hmm.
They lost the first match.
Hmm.
There's still three test matches. You could either draw it or you can win it. But keeping World Test Championship in the mind, there will be a lot of pressure on India. So if there were, there will be a question mark whether they wanna, like attack the team right now, go
Yeah.
all guns,
Hmm.
have your best team on the park
Hmm.
and try to scrape a win. If you scrape a win or a draw, that will keep huge pressure on India. And ping ball is something India is not very accustomed to. They only played two matches, and England will fancy themselves in ping ball with the senior pros, and also that's a very new ground. So in international cricket, not many people have an idea how the pitch is going to play. So they certainly do want to keep all these things in their mind and take a call.
Yeah, I mean, especially talking about selection in England, there's Mark Wood and Johnny Bairstow are joining the team for the third Test match. So
Mm,
now with Mark Wood coming in, it will be little interesting for them to how they use the bowlers in the second Test match. And they have somebody like Ollie
mm,
Stone, who is relatively new, but he has got some good pace and he has bounce also. So I think suddenly you see England, having plenty of options in the plate. And one certain change and one pakka change which England will do is they are bringing in Ben Foakes, since Josh Butler won't be available for the rest of the series.
mm. And I wanted to ask you one more question is about Moeen Ali.
Yeah.
Is Moeen Ali available for this second test match? Because he has proven his record. I mean, last series he has scored around 400 runs, picked up around more than 15 wickets. Do you see him making a comeback? Though Dombes has, showed some promise.
I don't think they will try to disturb the spin combination because from third test onwards they have to drop one spinner. So I don't see that Moeen Ali coming in to the until and unless they drop somebody like Dan Lawrence and bring in Moeen Ali, I don't see the change happening.
Mm. Do you still reckon that England will go with three paces and two spinners?
Uh, I think they will go with the same combination. Most probably, Broad will come in for Jofra Archer and Ben Foakes will walk in for Josh Butler until they decide to play with three seamers because that seems unlikely. So, given the pitches, it's said to be a turning track. So, in that conditions, I don't think they will play three seam attack.
So that's it, guys, from the video. India would really want to win this match and go into the next two matches to win the series. And as far as England, they would like to kill the series right away, right now, win this test match, and they can't lose from here if they win it. So it will be a very good duel. It will be very interesting to watch how Virat Kohli and his men are gonna give a comeback. Tata, see you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.